Hi guys, it's Carolyn and today I'm going to show you how to make this beautiful dress. If you like the look of this dress, I have a range of videos on my website that show you how to recreate them. What to do is watch the video, and if you like the dress you see in the video, you can then purchase the pattern pieces, which are the paper pieces which act like a stencil that you can cut out on fabric, sew together to recreate the dress. What you'll need for the dress is about 2.5 meters to 3 meters of quite thick satiny fabric, some lining that matches the colour of your fabric, some thread that matches the colour of your fabric. You'll need a zip which also matches the fabric, and you'll also need some trimming which we're going to use to create a lovely detail. You also have the option of beading, hand beading, which also adds a little bit of bling. The best place to do that is a website I've found called www.josierose.com, and they're offering all of my viewers a discount if you enter the promotional code that you see in the box below. Now for this dress you're going to start by laying out your fabric on the floor, and you're going to be taking all your pattern pieces and cutting out around them. To cut out our pattern pieces that are on the fold, we're going to fold over one section of our fabric, and then we're going to place pattern piece 2, which is cut on the fold, along there, and we're going to line it up with the folded edge, pin it, cut it out. Line up the centre front with the fold in the fabric, cut out. Now take all your remaining shell pattern pieces and cut on folded fabric again so that you end up with 2 of each piece. Cut out and then lay flat. This is what you should have now. The front and the back pieces should look like this. Next, you want to overlock all of your pattern pieces. Now take your facing pattern piece and cut that on the fold also. Next, you want to take your band pattern piece and cut that out. Now you need 4 of these pieces, so fold your fabric, cut them out, and then do the same again. And this is what you should have laid out. Now you're going to take all your front shell pattern pieces, 1 right, 2 and 1 left. You're going to place them onto 2 and sew. Pin and place both sides onto pattern piece 2. Make sure that good sides are facing each other when you're pinning, and then you're going to sew right down there on each side. You're sewing 1 centimetre seam allowance in from the edge. Next, you're going to take your back shell pattern pieces 3 and 4 and start to sew them together. Pin and place on both sides and then sew. Remember, good sides facing down on top of each other. Now you're going to sew both of these pieces together up the centre back. Now you're not going to go all the way up because this is where the zip will be, so you're going to measure 6 inches down and mark that with a pin, and then sew up to that pin from the bottom. Now you're going to take your front and back shell pieces and place them good sides down facing each other, and you're going to sew up both side seams. Next up, cut out your lining pattern pieces on your lining. Now, the front lining has to be cut on the fold, folding your lining over and placing your pattern piece on the fold. On your pattern piece for your lining, you're going to have a couple of darts, which are these triangle areas. We need to mark them out on the fabric underneath, so we're going to pierce a hole through the pattern piece at the star points. And then we're going to make sure that it's the back of the fabric that we're going to be marking with a pencil. And then remember to mark up here where the dart starts. To mark on the other side now, turn your pattern piece over the opposite way and do the same, marking through the holes. Now, if you're new to sewing up darts, a good tip is to turn the fabric over in the back and use a really light pencil to draw all of the lines that you've just marked out where you're going to be sewing up. And that will give you a guide of where the darts are supposed to be. You're then going to fold over right down the middle of the dart, pin and sew the triangle dart in. It should then look like this. Now you're going to take your two back lining pieces and sew them together up the centre back like we did with the shell. Now again, we're going to mark 6 inches down from the top. And sew from here down to the hem. Next, take your front and back lining and lay them on top of each other, good sides facing each other. Sew down the side seams. Now you're going to take your facing and fold it over so that you can locate the middle of the facing. Mark it with a pin or a chalk. Do the same with the lining so that you can locate the middle to line up with the facing. Now going to line up the middle of the lining with the middle of the facing. Fold the facing down, good side face down. You're then going to pin and sew. So you've got your shell of your dress now and turned it inside out. We're then going to turn the lining round so that the outside is facing out and all the seams are on the inside. We're going to then put that into our dress so it's like a mirror image. And we're going to line up the bottom edges of both the lining and the fabric. Now, your seams should be facing down that way on the lining and up that way on the fabric. And we're going to pin this all the way around the hem so that we can sew right round there. Make sure you're lining up all the seams. Once you've pinned it, it should look like this. All the seams should be lined up. And now you can sew it. Now if you turn it back inside, out the other way, it should look like this. Now turn it around so that the outside of the dress is the right way and the lining is the right way on the inside. You now need to sew along here. Lay your dress flat and take the front shell and turn it so it's facing you at the top. Then take your facing and lining and place it on top so that both good sides are facing each other. You're then going to go inside the side that you haven't sewn and pull it through and sew right along there. The next step is to pin the lining and the shell together. I'm going to do that right up the sides of the dress. It doesn't matter about putting them good sides facing each other because the band is going to be covering this section of the dress anyway, so just pin along and sew along. I've pinned the lining and the shell in place and I'm going to sew right along here now. Now press the bottom hem. At this point you should have something that looks like this. It's all been sewn up in the top, the bottom hem pressed,